I brought you a video yesterday about the post office scandal. Basically, I had some inside information sent to me about how everything works in the background, and the individual concerned sent me that on the condition of anonymity. I'll point out a link at the end where you can watch the replay of that. Tell me what you think. Well, we go a little bit further. If you believe, these guys and gals need exonerating immediately without a moment's delay, and also people in higher positions need to be held to account, subscribe to the channel, because it's a given. And I also want to point out Paz49, my ex-army mate over there. I wasn't in the army, he was. He did a deep dive video into this whole scandal, naming some of the key players and everything else. Go and have a look at that one, and leave your comments over there as well. Well, as well as the obvious, what's going on, who's to blame, who needs exonerating, how much compensation, and all the rest of it, there's a massive impact on thousands of post office branches and the overall reputation of the post office as a brand as a whole. But what people don't seem to realize, there are an awful lot of smaller concerns, independent concerns, where the people that run those take an awful lot on their own shoulders, and they can really suffer, and in turn their livelihoods. Now, I said to you yesterday I had a second part to the video I did with some more information, and I want to read you the rest of the email now to give you a bit of insight. Okay, what people do not realise is that sub-post offices that are not in supermarket chain stores or petrol stations are owned independently, and sub-postmasters are licensed to run a sub-post office by Post Office Limited, and their retail areas are owned by the sub-postmaster. So an example of that would be my local Premier shop down the bottom of the road, where I get my beer and whatever, and they got a post office in. These sub-postmasters do not get a fixed salary. They only get paid on each post office product or service they sell, and what they sell in their own retail area. By boycotting these sub-post offices, it will only make things worse. In many areas, there have been a lot of sub-post office closures, and these boycotters will be the first to moan that another post office has closed down when they need one. And if the sub-postmaster, as they say, goes on strike, how is the sub-postmaster going to pay all his bills for the shop, rent, mortgage, etc., and wages for their counter staff? It won't be the post office who will be paying for these. As for the sub-post offices that are still in business, year on year, it's getting harder to run a post office. Energy bills, insurance, counter staff, living wage increases. For every increase in costs, the sub-postmaster has to take a pay cut to keep everything going. I suppose, self-employment and running your own store and everything, that's a given, isn't it? Either that or people lose their jobs. Year on year, Post Office Limited has reduced what the postmaster gets paid per item stroke service they sell. I know they're trying to go down the parcel route, aren't they, from what I've been told before. What people do not realise, for all those who pay for their postage online and or only use it for Christmas and expect their post office to remain open, well, that's another reason for their post office has been closed for good. A post office is not just for Christmas time, it's an all year round service. We have had people come in at Christmas complaining that a post office has closed down, saying they only used it last week. In reality, it's been closed for months, if not for over a year. Use it or lose it. To many people who are abusive to retail shop workers, there's no need to be that way when all they're doing is trying to help. So there you go, another little bit of insight. I mean, when you look at the post office as a whole, it's, I'll go down the post office, but you've got the stuff in the big retail shops, haven't you? And the smaller independently owned things as well. It's, yeah. It's not good. It's not good. And this whole thing will have a massive impact on the reputation and everything else for months, if not years to come, I'm sure. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you want to watch yesterday's video with the inside info, there it is right there. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.